Hello YouTube, Bane666 here. Welcome to the first part of a new series called Dissecting Feminist Arguments. The feminist argument I am dissecting today is called, "But women have it worse." It goes like this. 1. A feminist reluctantly admits that men do have a specific issue. Then continues, 2. But women have it worse. This is often followed up by, 3. The male-related issue is not all that important anyway. So let's go to some examples. 1. False rape allegations are wrong. 2. But women are raped all the time. 3. And false rape allegations rarely happen in any case. This method of feminist argument attempts to trivialize any issue that men may have by putting it in competition with a female issue. This is illogical, as you can be against both false allegations and rape. It need not be one or the other. And consider false rape allegations make it harder for real victims to be believed. I would think that anyone who claimed to actually care about victims would want to see those who trivialize rape through false allegations severely punished. Let's look at another example. 1. Yes, it's true that more men commit suicide. 2. But more women attempt it. 3. And men can seek help if they need it anyway. So in this example, committing suicide is compared to attempting suicide. Admittedly, I have never seen someone who claims that females attempt more suicides give a source, so I cannot say whether this is fact or feminist urban myth. But ultimately that is irrelevant. Men have always been considered disposable by society. Feminists see men as disposable. And it's time we change this. It's time for a cultural change of attitude. Obviously, I think anyone who has attempted suicide should get help, but the point is they are still able to. But it's too late for those that have already succeeded. We need to listen to their pain and offer them help before it is too late. Once again, would it not be best to help everyone? Why does it have to be turned into a contest? One more example. 1. Yes, male circumcision is wrong. 2. But female circumcision is worse. 3. And the foreskin is only a piece of skin in any case. Yes, it is true that female circumcision is worse, but it is banned in the West, while male circumcision is not. Why not be against both? Why admit it is wrong and then dismiss it as unimportant? Could you imagine someone saying, 1. Sure, house fires are bad. 2. But tsunamis are far worse. 3. So we do not really need the fire department, do we? Would anyone, anywhere, really consider this to be in any way, shape or form, logical, or even sane? As a society, I do not see why we cannot tackle numerous issues at once. Some of these may affect one gender more than the other, some may affect both genders equally, but the point is fixing the issues regardless. But it seems that the only way feminists can admit men have any issues is if it is then put into the context of who is oppressed more. Feminism is built on the ideology that females are always the oppressed, and that males are always the oppressors. This ideology therefore has to always insist that women are always worse off than men. This in turn leads to the trivialization or outright dismissal of men's pain. Men have been disposable for long enough. It's time for a societal change. After all, men are human too.
Let's see what he says. I did dismiss him, but yeah, I mean, I'm just going to answer this. He says that men don't have the universal right to bodily integrity, circumcision. And actually, I agree with that. I think that that question needs to be visited again. In fact, my sister, when she had my nephew, didn't allow the doctors to circumcise him. However, I will say though that in my life though, with my my religious beliefs, I have a different understanding of it. But of course, the MRAs compare losing a flap of skin to losing the clitoris, the inner and outer labia, and sewing it shut. They don't seem to understand the difference between circumcision and female genital mutilation, so I don't expect them to be smart on that, because they're not.
See, here's what I do not get about false rape accusations. Well, a lot of things. But let's play along with the MRAs here, and accept some of their mostly baseless assumptions. Right? Let's accept that sometimes men are falsely accused of rape by catty bitches who did not get their way, and those rape accusations destroy their reputations and social standing within their respective communities. Fine, I will roll with that. But very few people are actually jailed for rape, and most of the MRA posts about false rape accusations are anecdotal evidence about dudes who never went to prison or manipulated stats from the False Rape Society. So the repercussions seem pretty much limited to their social domestic spheres, and MRAs will use this as a way to dismiss the rape that happens to women all the fucking time, right? This is just proof that most rape accusations should not be taken seriously. Who cares? Blah blah blah. But this is what I do not get. If the man is innocent, would not a trial be a good thing?
He says men are over 80% of the homeless. Yes, and also, I agree that there are a lot of men that are homeless, but there are a lot of women that are too. And in fact, if you look at the statistics, the real statistics, you'll see that the majority of the world's poor are indeed women.
Now, I'm not saying that there isn't sexism against men, because that does exist. Men can be raped, men can be assaulted, men can have mental illnesses. They aren't infallible, But if these men's rights activists had come together to work with feminists and say, hey, let's combat gender inequality together, but had acknowledged that women are and have been far more oppressed than men.
Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide. Yes, and something needs to be done about that. And women are far more likely to attempt suicide. Obviously, that needs a lot of research, but with his snarky comment, he's trying to say that women have more resources when it comes to suicide, and that's just absolutely not true.
I cannot stress this enough. Men right movement or activism is completely unnecessary. The moment you as a male are being made less, made fun of, or being threatened just because of your gender, that's when it will be needed. But since that does not happen to men on such a scale as it happens with women, well, you look fucking silly. And yes, there are issues that are bullshit with men too, like how if a male reports rape he is less likely to be taken seriously. I won't lie, that's bullshit. And I am not speaking for all feminists, just me and as I view it. But feminism is against the patriarchy, which pretty much screws both genders. Again, women get poorer treatment in general, but MRA seem to be against feminists because they feel threatened and think that they won't be able to keep telling stupid insensitive jokes.